We'll begin with a reflective meditation, allowing the body to be comfortable and to find physical stillness. And begin to notice the body resting on the chair or the seat. And notice that we acknowledge our body through the experience of sensations, through the sensation of touch. We feel the body against the seat. We feel the clothing against the skin, the air against the skin, sometimes cool, sometimes warm. We can hear through the ears vibrational sound, near sounds and distant sounds. We may hear the sound of our own breath. We can experience smell through the nostrils, perhaps the fragrance of flowers, springtime here at the moment, or the smell of rain. And we may be able to taste on our tongue if we've recently eaten or drunk something. There's inner vision if your eyes are closed, patterns, images, perhaps arising and passing away on the mind screen. We may experience light and shadow through the eyelids. Noticing the input now of the senses. And it is through the senses that we experience this body. We can feel the touch of air in the nostrils and the sinuses. The movement of lungs. The beating of the heart. In the same way, we may witness thought patterns, thoughts arising and passing. Notice the thoughts arising. Perhaps we get carried around the mind train for a few loops, building automatically on some thought. Perhaps there's particular looping thoughts. Notice we can also step off the mind train and drop it. Some thoughts evoke emotion or deeper feelings. And those arising emotions may then create another circle of thought patterns, looping around. Notice that you are the witness, the observer of both the input of the senses, the arising and passing thoughts, and feelings and emotions that are stirred by thought, by sensorial input. And now turn the awareness upon itself. And instead of focusing on the senses of touch, smell, taste, sight, hearing, emotion, thought, begin to notice who is observing this, what is observing this, who is or what is this observer, the witness aspect. And each time you find yourself back in the senses and you have lost the witness, redirect the awareness back from the experience of the subject to the primary self, the witness. Who, what is observing? And initially you will find that you are back looping on the mind train. This is something that is not thought. It is prior to thought. It is prior to sensorial experience. It is prior to emotion and feeling. What is it that is observing, witnessing? And notice as the witness, there is no judgment, no expectation, no thought, no experience other than aware, peaceful presence. And this is a practice or something that we can do when we find that we are caught in the monkey mind, when we are looping on the mind train. Step back onto the platform, the train platform. This is the neutral space, the witness, the impartial observer, where we become awareness or aware presence. And each time, because it will happen time and time again, we are stuck back in thought, simply redirect backward to the observer, this aware presence. We'll bring this meditation to an end now. However, it is a valuable tool to help us to disentangle from the mind stuff, to disentangle from emotion, to come to the realization that we are not thought. We are not this body. We are not limited to the emotions, thought, and physical experience. We are prior to this. So taking a couple of deep breaths now. And as you open your eyes and come back into the satsang, just notice how you're feeling. Notice that perhaps a shift of experience. Perhaps the mind is a little quieter. In our past meditations, we've been observing and witnessing the senses of the body and developing this ability for this aware presence, the observer, the witness. And this is one of the most valuable tools in life. But ultimately, it directs us back to who I am, to the I witness, the I observer, the I prior to our experience, our history, our story. And this is such a beautiful, neutral, open space. It's peaceful. There's no expectation. We find here that expectation vanishes, that we can be with what is as it is. We can notice that thought may come in and add to that. But as the witness, we are able to simply see that for what it is. The separate self or the egoic self wanting to come in and claim something as its own, or turn it into a drama and draw us away from peaceful presence. And this is suffering. This is how we suffer. When we believe our thoughts, when we become entangled in our emotions and our fears. Ultimately, it's all very simple. Yet because we've been trained so clearly from birth to believe our thoughts, to respond and react to our emotions, to lose our sense of identity as the observing witness, the neutral, peaceful presence. But as we begin to flow with that peaceful presence and accept what's arising and live without resistance, then that peace simply grows. It doesn't mean we're just sitting in meditation all the time. We can still be even more inspired. In fact, when the nervous system is in sympathetic and we're in a reactive state due to high stress, because we're believing our thoughts, because we're entangled in our emotions, it is very hard to be inspired when we are anxious or depressed. Inspiration doesn't come naturally then. But yet when we're flowing with life without resistance, inspiration just comes in and moves us without even having to think about it. We are moved, we are lived, and it's very beautiful.